Okay.
The first question I'm going to ask you is basically just state your name and your affiliation with IUP.
John Mills. I'm a professor of psychology.
All right, thank you so much. And the next question I want to ask you is how is it um, living in the Indiana community around the times like IUP and homecoming? I mean, IUPatties and homecoming. Is it crazy? Is it hectic? How would you describe it?
It's worrisome
Hmm.
and infuriating.
Really?
Hmm.
Why? How? Why? Why? How come?
Because people damage my property. They eliminate their urine and stomach in my yard.
Really?
They yell all night.
Wow, I
Um,
didn't know it was that bad.
yeah.
Is that the worst
Not
that you've
everything gets
seen?
to the police
That's true.
because I'm not going to call the cops for somebody who's going to be gone in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Police have much more dangerous things to deal with, and um, they simply don't have the resources to do what they're asked to do because I don't have gripes with the police at all.
Right. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad. Is that the worst thing that you've seen? Just the urinating and
No,
vomit?
I'm just talking about when I refer to that stuff, it's sort of from Thursday approximately through Sunday afternoon. Those things that I mentioned happen randomly.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it okay to leave my house unattended? Is it okay to stay there? Um, if I practice my music, they yell at my house because they hear me practicing. So then I don't practice because they're going to yell at my house. So it's sort of like being trapped, but you don't want to leave because you own, it's your property.
Right. Wow. Do you think that the police are doing their job when it comes to
As
the
much
big
as they
parties?
can. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that law enforcement is a solution here.
Mm-hmm.
They've established a really strong presence. In fact, the presence is a little bit alarming to see helicopters flying overhead and things like that. It's got. Um, I mean, I remember the riots after Martin Luther King was assassinated
Mm-hmm.
um, when I was a young teenager, because I was in Wilmington, Delaware, and we used to listen to the police scanner, and sometimes we'd go into the city. And it's a bad feeling that people are behaving in such a way that that's necessary. Um, so irresponsible people take advantage of civil people. Because if you're urinating in my driveway, I can't go out and hit you with a stick. I sure want to.
I'm pretty sure you do. Do you think the SWAT team was necessary?
Given the size of the crowds, I hate to think that some of the people I know in law enforcement would not have the protection they need.
Mm.
Do I like it? No. But I know a number of people in the police force, and they have families and they have their own households. And I hate to think that they'd have to give up their life or safety because people want to drink more than drink. They want to vandalize and menace people and do those things that are just hostile to the community.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Are some of the students that you've seen, have you seen, are some of them your students? Have you
Not,
ever like realized,
not yet.
no?
I hope I don't because I don't know how to see them square
Right,
after that.
right.
You know,
Come to your
it's
class the
important to
next
me to,
day.
well, yeah, I want to be fair to people, but if I see you running around in my yard on Sunday, it's going to be hard for me to look you in the eye on Monday. Yeah, I
Well,
haven't run into that yet.
well, that's good.
I know
um,
it's possible.
oh, definitely. I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think of one more question. Do you have any other comments that you want to say? Anything else that you want to get out there?
Yeah, I think that the borough and the township are negligent
Mm-hmm.
in establishing the conditions that would make this less likely.
Mm-hmm.
um, because some of the problems are not in the borough, and so that's up to the township, and the township has failed to pass ordinance laws, noise laws.
Mm-hmm.
The laws about disruptive behavior are not sufficient to deal with population density that happens at the level that's there. And the cost is enormous.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I agree.
I think that people who have a rental property with 3 or more people should be required, they should be fined if there's any citations on their
Mm-hmm.
property. And furthermore, they should be required to notify any prospective tenants, including co-signers, meaning parents,
Mm-hmm.
that they have been cited. So that, and I also think that their names should be in the newspaper, so that they have some experience of what it's like to not feel safe in their own house. Anything that holds them accountable. Some landlords live in other states, they don't care.
Yeah.
But there's no sense of ownership. And so the, I think the university does not promote a sense, students don't feel ownership of the university a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame the university for what happens. I don't think it's the university's fault. But I do think that the collective of the borough, the township, and the university are failing to encourage students to feel like they're destroying their own community.
Yeah.
That's my attitude about it.
That's good. There was one story in the paper, I believe it was the Pen, where it said big parties, small problems. Like the police didn't have a lot of problems. Do you agree with that?
No. I think that makes great PR for the university and community.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot happened did not lead to arrests. And I would like the people who wrote that or provided the sources for that to spend one evening over these weekends in my living room, or try to sleep in my house.
During those weekends.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was fabulous PR. It just had a tenuous connection to reality.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You can't take number of arrests as a single indicator of what happened.
Right. That's true. I didn't really imagine Indiana, the community to feel like this when it was these parties. Because like coming from me, like a student, I don't really participate in that type of thing. But like to actually hear it and to actually see it, because like you think about it, like I thought about it. That's why I'm doing a story on this. Like how does the Indiana community feel about these parties that happen? And it's just like eye-opening to see.
Yeah, I won't say where I live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fine.
But I will say that in a 2-block area around my house, far more than half of the houses have been for sale in the last 2 years.
Wow.
It looks like they're growing the signs like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that doesn't tell you something.
Right. Wow. That's amazing.
I'm glad you're doing the story.
Thank you. I am.
And I'm glad you're doing it under Dr. Loomis's
Mm-hmm.
supervision, because I think he's a good mentor, and I think that he encourages the story to be real, which is what journalism is supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm really glad I covered this story too.
Good.
Well, I think that is all the questions that I have for you
Okay.
right now. I do want to thank you. I really do appreciate your honesty.
Mm-hmm. Did you approach Dr. Japaitis?
No, not yet. I actually do have his, I have an interview with him
He agreed to it?
on Thursday, yeah. Because Dr.